What is up, YouTube? Nicholas Natchoff here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a little bit of business. I have posted a few videos on this channel before, kind of wiped the slate clean, moved all my health stuff to a little bit of a different channel. I'll put it in the description down below with my eczema, TSW healing journey, self-improvement videos. Kind of put them on a different channel. This channel, I just want to solely talk about business, talk about high-ticket info coaching, consulting, high-ticket services, specifically like the sales arm department kind of area of that, which is kind of like where I started off my you could say career and info in. And so yeah, that's what this channel is going to be all about. And in today's video, I'm going to go over kind of like the training, what I've learned, what I've done, some of the offers I've worked on. I haven't done a crazy amount of stuff in this space just yet. I mean, it's just the beginning of a very long journey. I've business model hopped a little bit, made a lot of mistakes along the way, but it's all cool. Today's video, I'm going to go over everything and my kind of whole journey in the space. All right, boys. So the first offer I ever got on in this space, the first time I've ever sold some sort of coaching program, info product, online, I guess, profit, you could say I've ever made, was from King Azule's Millionaire Mindset offer. So on this offer, I was just doing full stack setting, outbound, and Instagram DMs. So I'd handle all the DMs coming in, all the leads coming into the pipeline. I would go ahead and sometimes they would run ads to a VSL. I would go ahead and call the leads, set them on the calendar. I'd go ahead and triage, confirm appointments, maybe warm up the leads a little bit, get some details for the closers. Like, I really did full stack setting on this offer, and it taught me everything to do with like the sales process, basic setting. I'd not done any like sort of formal crazy sales training at this point, but this was the thing that got my foot in the door in the space. This was around 2024, second half of the year working on this. Funny enough, after I went ahead and worked here a little bit, I took all my comms, put them in crypto, hit multiple X's, went on in 2025 to lose my entire bag. And, thought I would go be a crypto trader at one point. We were hitting 5-figure months just trading crypto, and then we lost it all, which is very funny, but it definitely does teach you a lot of lessons about business, how active profit and active income is the most important thing you can do and get. But that aside, that was like end of 2024. Here's also some of my sets closing. So it was a 5K offer. We did have a 2K downsell. Sometimes it would be PIF, sometimes it would be payment plan, sometimes split pay, one card, the other card. Like, I wasn't specifically closing. Now, after 2025, like I said, I got into crypto, I lost my bag, business model hopped a bit, had some health stuff come up, this year especially. So I was kind of focused on that for a bit. And in around October of 2025, I joined John Ma's High Ticket Syndicate as the first ever like formal sales training I'd done. So I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and, I love business, but let me go ahead and get into sales. Let me learn how to close. I've always wanted to be a closer. So let me go ahead and learn sales and closing. And so I came into this program, I learned like the main thing is just like NLP, outcome-based selling, turning wants into needs, getting tangible experiences, figuring out causes, impacts of the problem, creating doubt in the process, pre-handling objections, just really understanding how to run a online high ticket, sales call. And yeah, kind of learned from Johnny Ma's program, and, kind of went over like the framework, learning like the full call. Mine was a lot longer than this. But like, yeah, from like top of the call to like the problem phase to, alignment, pre-handling objections, to getting their buying values, desired state, reality check, pitch, handling objections, all that kind of cool jazz. And so I was in this program for a short amount of time, and really was able to go ahead and get like the basics of sales and selling down. And that's kind of like what my entire sales style and everything I've done around selling and closing and running a sales process was really inspired and kind of built off this methodology here. So after being in John Ma's High Ticket Syndicate and being in the sales training, I went ahead and got myself onto my first ever closing offer. Now, I was on this offer for just a couple of weeks, for most of the month of November, and I was inbound closing paid traffic, I think some organic, but mostly paid traffic, on a 6.8K ticket for how to start Faceless Instagram pages, and it's like a Faceless Instagram pages offer, and I collected around like 30K in cash. I didn't have a full calendar. I was on like maybe 1 to 2 calls a day, like some days 3 if I was lucky, but I had like a very partial calendar. I was on the offer for a few weeks before I had like some health stuff come up, closed the calendar, and kind of parted ways with the offer. But yeah, I was able to go ahead and use the actual framework I learned from High Ticket Syndicate and close deals and collect cash on this offer here. And this was like the first proper closing offer I've done. And I realized, especially here, that there were some gaps in my skill set in terms of really getting the outcomes, not getting surface level, answers, but really getting the root level answers and contextualizing questions and, using tactical vulnerability and more things to make sure you're getting your outcomes. But as a first closing role, this was cool. It taught me a lot of stuff, and definitely was a good experience. now 2026, and this is what I've been doing most of this year, because the reason why I even left the last offer was because I had another health issue come up, where I stopped doing sales and online biz for a bit to kind of recoup and figure my stuff out. Move back here to Greece where I'm living now. I have a little cute studio set up, but I'm living in Greece now. And so like throughout this year, I kind of pivoted. I mean, I was still using my core skill set of sales, but you could say this is somewhat like growth operating, offer owner, growth operator kind of. So I partnered with a good friend of mine, and client, I guess now you could say, Titus. And we went ahead and we built an offer called Mission Max. So this was a basically like fitness, looks maxing, B2C offer. It was like a mid-ticket price point. This, audience and niche doesn't have a lot of buying power. And we priced it around like a 197 to 997 price point, depending if you got a DIY group or a done with you one-on-one coaching. And I started helping him with this around February, and we ran it till, I guess it's July 2026 right now. So this is still ongoing and running. And on this, really, I would do the DM setting. I'll do inbound closing, on Google Meets, hop on, close the leads. I would also manage a DM setter, which is still in the pipeline. So I've experienced managing a setter. Really the full sales department, building qualification. So really building a whole sales process, really building offers as well. So I was able to go ahead and build out, these mid-ticket offers for like a DIY group, and also for like a, done with you coaching, and, really build out the back end. I mean, Titus is here is the expert. His, knowledge and expertise is the one that's going to help the clients, and, the actual content strategy and stuff. Like I briefly did influence it, and do some CTAs and whatnot, but I did not like primarily go too deep into marketing and into targeting our ICP and like top of funnel, middle of funnel content. Like I didn't really do too much front end marketing. It's a skill set I'm still like open and honestly developing. Sales is more my strength, and right now I feel like I'm a little bit of a generalist, where it's like, okay, I've done some sales, I've done some marketing, I've created an offer, I've done different things. But now I kind of want to go focus more on just like, sales, really master sales. And then, I can expand to marketing later if that's another thing I want to add to the skill set. But for now, getting back to sales, specifically closing, and really just mastering